Hello everyone, so today what we're going to be working on is another beverage, and actually we're going to work on some ginger beer. And so I have some fresh ginger root here that I'm going to be working on. So this, as you can see, it kind of looks like some knobbly fingers. So the way that we start attacking this, the easiest thing to do is to actually just break off some of the pieces like that and take it one piece at a time. We're going to peel off, it's a fairly fibrous skin that's around here. We're going to peel that off first. And then we're going to slice it up into smaller pieces so that we can boil that with some sugar and some citrus, so that way we can extract all those flavors. Okay. Now I have my pieces of ginger are all peeled and ready for me to start dicing up in a fine dice. But we do have a lot of the ginger root skin that's left at the moment. Now, there's a reason why I'm separating these out, and that's also because I'm going to be using some of that ginger pulp that we're going to create later on for another purpose as well. But for the time being, there's a lot of flavor in this skin. I just don't want this skin to end up in our ginger beer that we're going to make. So I'm actually going to place this now into a separate pot. I've got a little purified water in there, and I'm actually going to put that on the stove to start extracting some of those flavors, just to start us off. And now you can see in here we have a great extraction from all the skin that we peeled from the ginger. All I'm going to do is pour that through a fine mesh strainer. That way I now have this wonderful tea, this ginger tea that I've created. It's got all that flavor in without the skin, so we're not actually wasting any of that skin, and now I can use that for several other applications. Okay, so now to get our ginger beer underway, I've got the water that we drew out from our skins, so I'm placing that in there, and a little bit more water too, a total of 2 cups of water. And now we're going to add, I've got 1 lime, and so what I'm going to do, I'm going to juice that 1 lime, because I want to get some acidity in there as well. The flavors are always going to develop more when you have a little acidity going on. We're not necessarily looking for this to be a lime flavored beverage, but we are looking to have some of that acidity to help us be able to taste everything a little bit more. And then of course our all important ginger. Going to add all of that in there. And of course we're making a soda here. We're making a ginger beer, so we have to have some sugar in there. So with 2 cups of water, we're going to add 2 cups of sugar. Whoop. It's okay if there's a little extra. And now we're literally just going to bring that up to a simmer, stir it occasionally, and we're going to allow that to steep. Once it's simmered for a few minutes, we'll turn it off, and we're just going to let that steep for a little while until it cools all the way down. That way we're going to draw out and extract all of those flavors in there. Now the next step is we're going to take this amazing, wonderful syrup that we have with our ginger. We want to strain this off. So I'm going to pour this through a fine strainer so we can take out the ginger content that we have there. But now we've extracted a lot of the flavor in there. But now we do still have some viable ginger. We're going to, in a later recipe, we're going to work on that. We're actually going to add those, crystallize that in with some other fresh ginger as well that we can put into some ginger cookies. But more to come on there. So now we have this amazing extracted syrup, and we can pour that into our reusable bottle, which is suitable for pressurizing, and that's really important whenever we're doing anything like this, that we have a container that's suitable for taking that pressurized liquid, because we're going to add in some sparkling water. And so now I have my trusty soda stream that I can use. So just screw this on. Pump it through till it makes that strange noise. And now I've got my sparkling water. But you can, if you go to the store, you can always use a seltzer water. Any kind of sparkling water will work just fine. Now just pour this in carefully, not too quickly. So as you can see, it does start to bubble up. So pour this in. And what we'll do once this is finished, we'll seal this off and let it refrigerate for a little bit longer to get it good and chilled. That way it holds on to that sparkle much better.